Hello, YouTube. This beautiful lake is the deepest and cleanest on our planet. In clear weather, its surface merges with the horizon. The sacred sea, the nascent ocean, the well of the planet, some of the names it is known by in Russia. All this is about Lake Baikal. Yes, Lake Baikal is considered to be the deepest lake in the world and one of the largest lakes on our planet. It is located in the southern part of Eastern Siberia, on the border of the Republic of Buryatia and the Irkutsk region. And all this huge lake is located, all of it, on the territory of the Russian Federation. Ever since I began my investigation over 30 years ago of the presence of mysterious humanoids in the Lake Baikal, I have been keenly watching developments of the lake. Based on what I have, I am certain the humanoids are still in the lake. Those strange so-called swimmers, they're still in the lake. And not only in that lake. Read my book, Russia's USO Secrets, and watch my videos about the lake. You'll find them in this channel. The Russian government and Russian President Vladimir Putin, they're paying attention to the lake too. You will understand after watching those videos. And again, just do the word search Baikal in the channel. They'll pop up. There are strange developments of the lake. And Russian scientists, they do their thing there too. But I also know of the independent divers who functioned at the lake. Those of them who choose to talk sometimes reveal interesting things. Let me tell you about some of them. As for those who choose not to talk, well, sooner or later, some open up. Maybe. Look, there's a lot of paranormal phenomena around the lake. Irkutsk divers discovered a cave near Alkhon. This was reported by Gorod news agency with reference to Vesti Irkutsk on August 7, 2025. Professional divers, as well as spouses, Tatiana Aparina and Gennady Misan, explored the underwater city for a whole week. Hidden in the depths of Lake Baikal, the canyon stretches to the depth of 70 meters, with cornices, grottos, terraces, and ledges on its slopes. They named the city Haravushin Cave City by analogy with the cave cities that they observed in Armenia, for example, and in Crimea, where people, they used to live there. As someone lived here too, meaning Lake Baikal. And, well, maybe they still do, by the way, because we found out that seals live in caves and they like it. According to Gennady Misan, Baikal is rich in interesting places for diving, especially in places with limestone rocks. So in 2024, the divers, the spouses, discovered a cave near the Circumbaikal Railway at the depth of 40 meters. In addition, the couple holds records for diving depth on Lake Baikal. Tatiana has 170 meters, Gennady has 160. A new research expedition is planned for November of 2025 when Lake Baikal cools down and the water becomes as clear as possible. Well, who are the divers? Who is this couple? Well, her husband and she probably know the Baikal bottom like no one else loves Irkutsk resident Tatiana Aparina. They have been diving professionally together for more than 20 years. During this time, what was not found in the depths of the lake But one of the most incredible discoveries, perhaps, according to them, is a real wooden house. It was discovered during a dive near the Baikal Railway 7 years ago. Presumably, the house has been underwater for about 50 years. After all, the wood has already begun to turn into stone. It has hardened very strongly. For Tatiana Parina, 48, and Gennady Misan, 64, diving is not just a hobby, but a way of life. And no wonder. After all, if it was this that brought them together. The future husband and wife met on Lake Baikal during a meeting of divers from the Irkutsk region. And from that moment on, they never broke up. They dive under the water of Lake Baikal 365 days a year, and this is no joke. Spouses do spend more time in the water than on land. Therefore, in 2003, they even opened up their own dive center in Irkutsk. And the wife, she became interested in this business in 1998 while vacationing in the Canary Islands, according to Tatiana. That was the first time she plunged into the depths of the sea. And her friends suggested it. Well, Gennady joined diving on Lake Baikal in 1986. Well, now they're always together and they've turned their hobbies into a business and a lifestyle. And the spouses, they did find a lot during their dives. A helicopter, a house that I mentioned, a 100-year-old cart, a train, cars. And this is just a list of the most impressive surprises. 3 years ago, their diving center released the film Baikal Objects Underwater. The film included about 100 joint dives by Tatiana and Gennady from 2006 to 2023. Unfortunately, most of the finds are garbage, according to Tatiana. Bottles, wheels, axes. Something unusual or surprising is much less common. Sometimes there are stories connected with these things, sometimes tragic ones. A few winters ago, Tatiana and her friends came to Arkhon, diving under the ice. To do this, they made an ice hole. In the diving language in Russia, it's called Maina. A vehicle was found at the bottom of the lake. They recorded it on video and then posted it on social media. The owner responded, and he wrote that he was going there to get his car out. And in 2018, they found an ancient anchor, which was then transferred to the Talsi Museum. But this case is an exception to the rule. Usually, what lies at the bottom stays there. It is extremely rare to bring something to the surface. Their task is only to study. It is not uncommon for those spouses and expeditions. In addition to expeditions and daily dives, they train those who wish and conduct underwater tours for various tourists. I will update my audience about that newly discovered underwater cave city. Okay, whatever it is, we'll find out. I don't know if the city is the right term for it, but we just don't know enough. Maybe after November of 2025, more information will come in. But there are other divers at the Lake Baikal. An unusual artifact was discovered at the bottom of the lake in the waters of the village of Listvyanka. A metal sculpture in the form of a man in knight's armor was noticed by local divers during another underwater expedition. The art object is located at the depth of 7 meters. It is not known who put it there. In all the reservoirs where diving is available, people engaged in scuba diving make such objects in order to make diving interesting and spectacular. There are sculptures in Turkey, Cyprus, and Greece. Art objects are especially installed to make it beautiful underwater. There are a lot of things by Listvyanka. People just don't know about it in those waters. They walk along the shore, they eat kebabs, and there are a lot of things underwater, including ordinary household garbage. There are mountains of it. Unfortunately, this is the, feature of our planet and what humanity is doing to it. Those divers, they clean up the trash regularly, bottles, beer cans, tires, barbecues. They were just swimming and they saw that statue. But according to Mark Kisurin, there are many similar objects there. And people are harming the ecology of Lake Baikal, not the objects that are in the water. They don't harm. It's the humans that do. Along the coast, where there are settlements, there are a lot of things on the entire shore of Lake Baikal, and sunken boats, cars, even wagons. They've been lying there for decades and no one cares. And this is a highly quality all-metal object. It doesn't pose any threat. That's his opinion, the diver shared, referring to the sunken night. Searching for traces of celestial bodies on Earth is a very difficult task, but you can find something interesting, even ancient, at the bottom of reservoirs much more often. This is exactly what amateur divers are doing, who have joined forces and are diving in the waters of the Irkutsk reservoir and Lake Baikal. Here is one of the latest finds, such a coin from 1846. 1 penny in silver. It is written on it, but in Russian, of course. The history of the time of Nicholas I, the Tsar of Russia, lies in the palm of the diver Ekaterina Berezkova. The Irkutsk native has been regularly diving underwater since 2008. Over time, she became the head of an amateur diving club. It includes 15 people on a permanent basis. They dive to the bottom of reservoirs not only for the sake of adrenaline. Underwater swimmers find ancient household items. For example, they came across an ancient icon. And the heaviest catch was an 8-ton anchor, which is now registered in the Talsi Museum. And now diving is also associated with the clearing of reservoirs. Ekaterina Berezkova, head of the diving club, says this: every week we lift plastic nets and household garbage from the bottom of Lake Baikal. Naturally, we participate in all Russian actions, but they're more hyped up, and we do it literally every day. Divers' wetsuits have pockets. With their help, divers can lift up to 3 kilos of waste from the bottom at a time. They're trying to do this at various points, not only in Lake Baikal, but also in the Irkutsk reservoir. The divers, they operate all year round. Soon Ekaterina's team will go to the Bolshie Koty, or Big Cats area. Perhaps they will not only collect garbage there, but also discover something interesting. As for Alkhon, I'll come back again to this island. The largest island of Lake Baikal is located approximately in the center of the lake, closer to the northwest coast or shore. It is separated from the mainland by the Strait of the Small Sea with a maximum width of 16 kilometers and the narrow Strait of the Alkhon Gate. The entire territory of the island and the immediate surroundings are part of the Baikal National Park. Alkhon is usually reached from Irkutsk, which is 256 kilometers away. Remember, there is a legend that claims that Lake Baikal is connected by an underground river to the Arctic Ocean. And in my research, I found information about sightings in the 1930s in northern Russian Sea of identical underwater humanoids. Some say there are tunnels that connect Lake Baikal to other parts of this world. So the quest continues, and I'll bring you more interesting facts and stories about Lake Baikal. I've been doing it since early 1990s, and I know we'll find the answers. If you like my research, please support through the links you'll find in the description to this video. Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for your attention to my work.